Amazon Fresh is not dead yet.
Yes.
According
It's
to
not
Grocery
dead yet.
Dive,
Not dead
no.
yet.
According to Grocery Dive, Amazon confirmed the opening of 8 stores across 5 states and will continue to selectively add locations based on consumer response. After surpassing the 50-store mark in September, Amazon Fresh's footprint now consists of 60 stores after the company recently opened 3 stores in California, 2 in New York, and 1 each in Maryland and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, the company confirmed. The locations range from 31,000 to 59,000 square feet, and Amazon is, quote, encouraged by early signs, end quote, coming from stores that follow the refreshed design it debuted in Chicago and Southern California last year. Chris, do these Amazon Fresh new store openings change your mind at all about Amazon's grocery strategy? We're back talking about Amazon grocery
Uh,
strategy.
and I'm thinking. No, not a bit. Not a bit. Not a bit. Nope. 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 Nope.
Oh,
You know, when I read this headline, I think on the plus side, I could say that at least geographically, they're keeping them concentrated to specific markets, right? They're not like building one random one in Kansas, for example, so
sure.
that's good. I mean,
Sure.
that small win, but you got to take them where you can. But with that said, I think what I find most interesting about this headline is the undertone. It's the undertone of the headlines as I read about them this week. It's all about the quote testing and learning. And those are my quotes, really. Those are Joey Tribbiani quotes. It's like it's all about testing and learning. It's not anything about like why people should change their grocery shopping habits and shop these new Amazon Fresh stores.
Yeah.
And I got news for you, Amazon. Once you get to 60 stores operating on both coasts in Illinois, it gets a lot harder and harder to refashion those investments into something that is captivating because at 60 stores, and I mean, you know it, you're already kind of a chain, you're a
Yes.
chain, you're a grocery chain at
Yes.
60 stores. And so generally speaking, when you're at 60 stores, you got a prototype that works. And that's not the case here if you're still testing and learning. So,
Hmm.
I think at the end of the day, we step back here. We think Amazon just got ahead of itself with Just Walk Out technology being the hook and its expansion plans. And, they're just likely saying test and learn because they quite honestly know they just don't have a strategy that's that captivating and that is that convincing it's going to work right now. That's my opinion on this story, but I'm
Yeah.
curious what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm really curious as these stores are rolling out to see what is pulled, if anything, from the tests that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks that are being conducted with the attached automated warehouses or the different concepts that they've been testing in some of the other newer stores. But the other thing too, Chris, for me, especially given the story we just talked about with Dollar General and Elf and their expansion, especially as they go into food, like I think low prices are going to be key here. And if I'm Amazon Fresh, I think
Right.
based on what they've learned so far, like you are going to me, the key benefit here is going to be, can you get the lowest prices possible on the highest quality food? Like, can you be the Elf Beauty of food? Is that a survivable strategy for Amazon? Because
No
it's
way.
not about the experience-based shopping like you talked about. It's not about just walk out
Yep.
anymore. Like there's not enough of a reason to go to these stores. So I'm really curious to see like what they do end up changing, and hopeful that this isn't just like these stores have been vacant for 7 years and they've decided to do a concept in here again or something. So it's
Yeah.
there's a lot that they have to do to win, and I don't
Yeah.
know that they're ready to do it based on what we've heard in the last few months.
Well, you bring up two questions I want to ask you based on what you said. So like one more is a statement, the other one's a question. So like the first one about low price, like how are you gonna conceivably compete on scale and low prices when you have Walmart and 4,600 stores and you've got the likes of Aldi, as well? Like that just seems like an impossible thing when you've got 60 stores of produce and meats and all that kind of stuff. So like that
Hmm.
just seems impossible. But the other point I want to ask you about is like, because you brought up you're interested in seeing the tests, right? Like
Yeah.
do they start incorporating some of the other tests we've seen, like the warehouse, alongside the store or whatnot. But like I'm asking you, I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but I don't think we talked about it as overtly. Like, does the idea that you can buy Pepsi from a micro warehouse while you're shopping a store make you want to go to that store? No, like
No,
it doesn't,
no.
it does jack all for me, honestly. Like
Hmm.
that doesn't make me want to switch from Kroger or Walmart or anywhere else I'm going. Like, does it?
Yeah.
I mean, when you
It's
think about
another
it that way,
friction
it's like,
point. Yeah. It's another
yeah,
step. It's like kind of the opposite, which is funny. It's kind of the opposite of what Just Walk Out went to do. It's like now
right.
we're going to create a new grocery store and you're going to have to shop another new way that's less convenient. Like now you have to put in your order for your Pepsi and your Lay's potato chips in a separate way than you could have before, or you could just go to
Yeah.
Kroger across the street and get it all done in one fell swoop. But
Yeah, it reminds me of the analogy that somebody told us when we started entrepreneurship, where they said entrepreneurship is like you're drowning trying to save a kid, and somebody throws another kid and asks you to save them too. Like here you go. That kind of feels like Amazon's grocery strategy right
oh
now. I
my
don't know,
God.
but hey, gotta do
Well,
what you gotta do. Test and learn.
this
Test and
the
learn.
cities
Always. You can never argue with test and learn, and never.
Oh God, the cities are probably happy that they're going back into these vacant buildings that have been sitting there. At
Mm-hmm.
least I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
might be the
Probably
silver
part of this.
lining
Yeah.
here.